Okay. Hello, everyone. Is everyone able to hear me well? Want to make sure nothing is wrong. I actually didn't really get a chance to play around with it too much, but here's hoping everything's right. If anything's messed up, there's no sound, anything like that, just let me know, guys. Anyway, well, let's just get started. Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Hopefully, all you saw my post that I did just a little while back about AMD's Computex conference. It is technically Monday at 10 a.m., but that's in Taipei. In the US, it's technically the 26th, hence why we're here now. Anyway, the start of AMD's keynote is just a few minutes away, and keep in mind that this is basically the keynote to kick off Computex. Kind of like a pre-show keynote, since technically Computex starts on the 28th. Still, until it starts, let's discuss what we can expect. If you go down into the description box, you can see a straw poll. Everybody going down there, click that, cast your votes. It is, let me actually get it up here. Oh, no audio. Ooh. No audio at all. Test. Oh, okay. Okay, so it is fine. All right. Sorry about that. It was probably just at the start of the video, and for anyone who maybe started it over or something, that's probably why they thought the audio wasn't fine. But anyway, let us go right here. We have the straw poll up right now. Here's the question. Will AMD's 3rd Gen Ryzen get to 5 gigahertz? I don't know if that's... I don't know. As far as my opinion, yeah, I really don't know. I'll kind of give a little bit of a better opinion in a few minutes, but go down there, cast your vote. It'll say maybe, absolutely, no way, or, you know, what is gigahertz? Anyway, go ahead and cast your vote down there, and I'll actually go ahead and refresh it. Oh, wow. Okay, a lot more votes. Okay, let me see. Anyway, everybody heard Computex, AMD, gonna be the first ones. Just kind of going through here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about this. Just getting a few things situated. Okay. Oh, by the way, with the 5 gigahertz mark, I do want to go over, I'm only talking 1 or 2 cores, but remember that Ryzen can typically get pretty close to the boost clock, whether it's 1 or 2 cores, with manual overclocking on every core. I don't see any reason why that would change now. It is possible, especially since we're talking 12, 16 cores, potentially, likely. But I'm more or less just talking that 1 or 2 core boost. So if that kind of changes your answer, I'm actually not really sure if you can change it, but either way, that's more or less what I mean. Now, let's see. Okay, so kind of the question, what's going to happen? What is going to happen today? Obviously, we've been talking a lot. We have been talking a lot about... it's coming to Computex. It's coming to Computex. And a lot of people do seem to think it's not. Now, it might not, but guys, remember that during their press release for this exact thing, it said, the latest AMD products released include the world's first 7nm GPU, AMD Radeon 7. Let's see. Okay. Upcoming products include 7nm AMD EPYC data center processors, 3rd Gen AMD Ryzen processors, and graphics cards based on the next generation Navi architecture. Then down here it says, during the CEO keynote, Dr. Lisa Su and other high-profile guests will highlight new details of upcoming products. So it lists the upcoming products. Then it says, during the keynote, they're going to go over upcoming products. Okay. If that isn't good enough for you, don't forget all of the X570 leaks everywhere. We have the X570 Tai Chi. It's the actual retail packaging. We have MSI that teased the X570 right here with their 5, 6, 7, 6 being Wi-Fi 6, 5 being the X570, 7 likely meaning 7 nanometers. Then, okay, let me go back. So there's been a ton of leaks going on. So I really think we're at the very least going to get a very serious announcement for 3rd gen Ryzen. Now, obviously, whether it's going to be 5 gigahertz, I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But as far as actually getting 3rd gen, I'm pretty sure it's going to be happening today. And, I'm not the only one. Intel also seriously believes it. And this is the next little bit. Intel has already announced a new 9900K called the 9900KS. What this is, it's an all-core boost of 5 gigahertz, which pretty much the 9900K can already boost up, with manual overclocking, but they've made it official. Yeah. Let's just say Intel definitely thinks something is happening. And also, I will say, if you notice, I'm probably sweating a lot. It's really hot in here. My AC's been having a really tough time keeping up with the fact that it's something like 100 degrees. But anyway, if I get a little bit sweaty, sorry about that. But, okay, so Intel's already announced this. They've kind of preemptively done this announcement that shows they're pretty sure something's probably coming. Now, I was a little bit surprised that they didn't release a full everything, but, you get what you get. Because I know that they have some kind of upgraded boost kind of things. And then we also have NVIDIA that's going to be announcing something at Computex as well. So, Okay, let's see. Oh, I do know that the stream at some point went down. Okay, it is back up. That was a little scary for a minute, but I also wasn't too concerned. Let's see. We can also go. That is pretty much everything that I kind of wanted to cover. Obviously, we're going to find out if this is really going to happen in 10 minutes or so. But I think it is. Now, let's see. It seems like most everyone says maybe. I'm actually going to... Sorry, I am sweating really bad. But most everyone seems to say maybe. Then the next best is absolutely. Maybe. Honestly, to go from, say, 4.2 to 5 gigahertz in, we are talking 7 versus 14 nanometers, but so far I have not seen that much of a boost moving on to 7 nanometer Radeon 7 or anything like that. So I can't say for sure. I don't know. I'd like to think, but to be honest, I'm not going to be surprised at all if it's something like 4.8, 4.7. But at the same time, we're talking likely a 12-core processor. It's something like 4.5, probably 4.6, maybe even a little bit higher. 12-core processor for something like, I'm just throwing random numbers out here, but something like maybe $400. That's insane. And hopefully, some of the smaller core count, 6-core, can go a good bit higher, but at the same time, traditionally AMD hasn't up the cores or up the clock speed too much between Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, things like that. And usually Ryzen 7 ends up getting the highest core count or the highest clock anyway. I don't know. I will say that 5 gigahertz is definitely something that they could really brag about. So I guarantee that that's at least at one point is or was a goal of theirs. So it's possible. It's possible. Anyway, let's see. The stream should be starting before too long. Once again, I do apologize for saying it was Monday when it technically is Monday, but not Monday in the US, and not technically Monday when we're doing it. So, anyway. Okay, so a question, just kind of for everyone. What do you want to see out of... Oh, no, really quickly, Navi. I will say I'm almost 100% sure that Navi is going to barely be seen here today. Have a feeling they might run a benchmark. They might say the goal. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but they definitely made it a big deal about going to E3 coming up. So I don't know. I really think that's where they're going to end up doing Navi. Obviously, cannot say for sure. But anyway, I do have a question. What do you want to see more than anything out of Ryzen, 3rd gen Ryzen? What do you want to see? More cores, higher clocks, just better in gaming? Whether, I mean, obviously that's because of higher clocks. Things like that typically are what's going to make it better in gaming. But what specifically do you want? Are you just wanting something better in gaming and then also better at, how do I put it? I mean, I don't know. Right now, Ryzen's positioned itself to be kind of a great all-around chip, especially if you don't have the highest, the best graphics card out there. It can be really great at productivity and then be just good enough, not just good enough, it can be just as good as any other chip in gaming if you don't have a GPU that's the if you do have a GPU that's the bottleneck. That's kind of one of the biggest things, especially budget builds. They'll go to Intel, spend more on the CPU, and then get a mid-range GPU to where no matter what CPU they bought, I mean, even 4 cores, very low clocks, it's still going to perform identical. No difference. So, anyway, let me... Some people are saying the music stopped. Let me go ahead and put these on. I'm going to take this off. And I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway, let me go up, kind of read some of your answers to this. Gonna get out of this mode. Okay. Okay, some mentioned the APUs. Now, I don't want to burst anyone's bubble. I have discussed it before. But honestly, guys, the APUs are almost definitely going to be 12 nanometers. Pretty much everything we've seen, it's not going to come on the 7 nanometer anything. So I really hate to burst your bubble on that, and it's something that I was really disappointed about. It's just the fact that when they first launched the APUs, it was technically on 1st gen Ryzen, even though they called them the 2000 series, because there were some features that they had that when they released the initial desktop Ryzen CPUs, those didn't have it. So it was good enough to call it 2nd gen. So 3rd gen, they're essentially on 2nd gen where they're getting that 12 nanometer plus Zen plus architectural change. So don't expect a huge difference whenever we're talking APUs. It's disappointing, it sucks, but it's probably going to happen. So Let's see. 32 cores at 32 gigahertz. Yes, I will quit my job if that. I will worship AMD if that happens. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. AMD has everything but clocks right now. It's just the one thing that kind of holds it back. And honestly, that is a big thing. There's kind of a big misconception whenever people say, oh, single core, who cares about single core? Everything's multi-core. But here's the thing. When you're looking at single core performance, that single core performance is across all the cores. And the vast majority of software doesn't support more than, say, 4 cores. So let's say you have a 4-core processor against maybe an 8-core processor, right? So 4-core, 8-core. The 8-core is at 4.5 gigahertz. The 4-core is at 5 gigahertz. But you have a software that only takes advantage of 4 cores. That 4 cores is likely, I mean, there's a lot of factors here. There's a lot of generalization. But typically, it's going to do better. And that's just because it's still utilizing the whole thing. Yeah, there's plenty more on the 8-core, and you could even make the argument that you can do other things like streaming, things like that while you're doing it, sure. But if we're talking strictly one program, that 4-core is going to do better. And so, ultimately, single core is still important. Now, if all of our software did a ton of cores and could handle every core that we threw at it, yeah, it'd be no question. More cores is more important. But as of right now, and there's a good bit of other architectural differences that kind of not make up for it, but that kind of change things as well. But anyway, let me see. Shows I am still alive. I see it's 10:01, so cross your fingers. Let's see. Yep, more and more games are using more cores, but and I'm not trying to argue. I'm really just trying to kind of play a little bit of devil's advocate here. They are using more cores, but they're also not using every core to its fullest potential, if that makes sense. And some things, it really just depends on what's your bottleneck. The ultimate CPU maker's job is to get rid of bottlenecks. And that's a really hard thing to do. So think about it like this. So you've got a game, let's say, where the AI is really, really, really intense. Traditionally, AI can only be done on one core because it has to know what's going on at all times. So the AI is too intense. So a slower clock speed, even a game that utilizes most other cores, it could be bad enough that the difference could be bad enough that AI slows it down so much that effectively the core advantage that you have isn't enough. But at the same time, it can work the other way around. So I mean, there's just a lot involved, and game developers especially are really bad at utilizing all the cores parallel. They'll just use a little bit. They don't efficiently use it. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, let's see. But it's all about parallel processing. Yeah, I just wanted to double check here. Yes. Make sure to like the stream, please. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Let's see. Ooh, hold on one second. I'm trying to get all of this in order up here. Oh. Okay. I think also Discord.
Morning, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
oh.
Welcome to the
Okay.
2019 Computex International
Now I
Press
have
Conference
it going
and CEO
through
keynote.
here. I can
It's
stop
great
it
seeing
if you guys
friends from the
want. I
press
can
and the
mute.
industry around the world
If you're
here
listening
today.
to it yourself,
Each year,
I can mute
we
it.
see
That's
Computex
fine.
spirit through
Just
its
kind of let me
incredible
know.
and innovative events. This year, Computex has prepared to go above and beyond your expectations.
Here we go.
Without further ado, please
I'm excited.
welcome
I know
Mr.
all of you
Walter
are,
Ye,
but
President and
I'm
CEO
really
of the
excited.
organizer Tytra, to the stage to give us a
Mute
remark
it?
and
Okay.
preview of
Okay. Oh wait, don't mute. Okay, we have a lot of people saying don't mute. I'm sorry. Let's just unmute it.
Computex
Okay.
2019. I'm very happy to see so many people today. This year, Computex is kicking off with the first ever
No, I didn't.
keynote
I didn't
speech
mute.
to be held at this Computex Pre-Show International
Okay.
Press Conference.
Once again, this
Computex
is
involves
the
the joint effort of both Tytra and TCA.
remember this
So
is
now,
technically
I would
before
like to
Computex.
welcome
Computex technically
our
starts
partner and
tomorrow.
organizer
Oh, lower
of
your voice.
Computex,
Do I need to lower it?
Mr.
I can lower it a little bit.
Of TCA.
Love you too. You guys are awesome. Just saying that. Really, really close to 100,000 subscribers. So yes.
President Walter Ye of Tytra, distinguished guests, media friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Taipei Computer Association and our chairman, T.H. Tong, I would like to express my welcome to all of you for coming this year, Computex. Since
I'm going to turn the volume up a
19th
little bit.
centuries, steam machine, electric generator, and the internal combustion engine brought human beings into automation civilization era. And then, since 1960, semiconductor, computer, network, and mobile devices brought us into information technology civilization era. Taiwan and the Computex Taipei participate in this great IT revolution process at the very beginnings.
These are Computex
Engineering capability.
These are their
operation flexibility
kind of discussion and everything.
and business trust. Therefore, we obtained a solid role in worldwide ICT supply chain and the ecosystem. This May, is exactly the 50-year anniversary of AMD. So I'm so honored and happy to be here with you to learn from the pioneer of semiconductor and the computing architecture enterprise and the long-time technical and the business partner with Taiwan. And Dr. Su's opinion on
Yeah, I mean,
new
this
version,
right here, don't forget, this is
new solution for next computing.
the
next
video
generation
volume's all the
computing.
way up, I will say.
Close my talking. I wish you
but-
all have a very fruitful stay in Taipei.
Thank you
very
for the
much.
$2. Appreciate that.
Thank
It
you.
is unfortunately
Mr.
live right now, so there's
Thank
no
you,
fast
Mr.
forwarding.
Chang, for your warm remarks.
Keep in mind, guys, this is actually
For
like
decades, Computex
from
has
Computex's
played a very important
staff. This isn't really
role in
AMD
the
just yet.
ICT industry. This is because Taiwan is home to many leading tech companies. As we know, the
morning.
technology industry is constantly changing. And we are now entering a new era of innovation.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Therefore, we are
Don't hate me.
always transforming and
I
evolving
just wanted to get that to go
in
away.
order to maintain our position as a global innovator. Indeed, last October, the World Economic Forum, WEF, ranked Taiwan as one of the top 4 super innovators in the world, alongside Germany, the US, and Switzerland. Taiwan
I'll be
has
doing
achieved
a
this
video probably
remarkable
tomorrow
position
as soon as I can. I
thanks
actually
to
took
our
tomorrow.
vibrant
Well, I already had
startup
tomorrow off, and I'll take
ecosystem
Tuesday off, and I
and
have Tuesday off as well. So I'm going to be
digital
doing a ton of videos. So
economy.
seriously, if you guys want to know what's going on, some really awesome stuff, make sure to
Moreover,
subscribe.
With the support of the Taiwan government, our exhibitors, and our visitors, we are able
Also,
to stay
for anybody who saw that video where I
in
pronounced
the
it Tapai,
fast-changing world.
I'm so sorry. It was
Today,
awful.
Computex is more than just a sourcing platform.
Well, right now this is
It
just
is
about
also
Computex.
the
It's not
platform
actually
for
AMD's
building
presentation.
technology ecosystem. With focuses on themes like AI, IoT, 5G,
They're just in the
blockchain,
introduction, guys. This is the first
innovations and startups,
anything
gaming,
at Computex. Don't forget, it
and
technically starts
XR.
tomorrow, not today.
unlike
Starts on the
many other ICT trade shows, Computex
Sweet.
is expanding every year. Our new Nangang Exhibition Hall 2 is providing new capacity with almost 10% growth in
I don't think they're going to do
numbers
Navi, but
from last year.
I will be completely shocked if they
This
don't
year,
announce the
Computex
CPU.
is
I mean,
hosting 1,000.
it's almost guaranteed. I mean, there's a reason they're going to be the first presenter.
Key exhibitors include
They have
AMD,
announcements.
Acer, ASUS, Audi,
4 o'clock.
BenQ,
Oh,
Delta,
that's tough.
Intel,
Stay strong. Stay strong.
Micron, Microsoft, MSI, NVIDIA, Honda, and many more. One of the highlights of Computex is Innovex, which links together the entire supply chain and promotes a complete ecosystem for
He's
the
just got a lot to
startup
memorize.
community.
That's the problem.
If a
He's not
startup
bored. He's just
is
going through
looking to
everything.
find
Okay.
investors,
Okay.
promote
Invest.
new ideas or products, or search for partners and manufacturers, Innovex is the perfect place to start. Since its debut in 2016, Innovex has more than doubled in size.
I can almost guarantee that
with
the NVIDIA Super.
467
I don't know. I think it's just a marketing way
from
of
25
trying to compete.
countries.
Oh, thank you very
Now,
much, Elliot. Really appreciate
Innovex
that.
is the biggest startup
Honestly, I think it's
platform
just a
in
way
Asia.
of getting a new product out there just to say,
To
hey, we
help
have something
our
new
startup
whenever
become
they expect
tomorrow's
AMD to announce
success
Navi before too long.
stories. We
But,
do things differently.
The problem
We
is, I have a
organize
feeling it's just going to be
events
faster RAM.
such as
And
startup
I hope it's something
tours,
more. I mean, if they're completely renaming it,
Forum.
come on.
such as startup and also pitch contacts and matchmaking events with VCs.
Oh, and shout out
To
to
help our startup
the all my mods.
other events
Once
at
again,
Computex also
hold on
makes
one
this show
okay. Shout out to all the
exceptional.
mods. They're really helping
For
out.
instance, you will
All my
hear
mods
from
from
great
Discord, I
industry
do believe, are
leaders
all here. So I appreciate
at
that.
keynotes
Definitely don't forget to check out Discord.
as
Discord.gg/gamermeld. You can discuss all this there
AMD
as well.
President and CEO, Mr. Gregory Bryant, Intel Senior Vice President, and Mr. Nick Parker, Microsoft Corporate Vice President. In addition, you can attend many forums, including Computex Forum, Innovex Forum, and Taipei 5G Summit. You will
Yeah,
also
I don't think it's
see
going to be a big deal.
product
Oh,
launches
thank you, Michael.
by global
I really don't.
brand names. Only today,
It's just gonna be like a
from
refresh,
this morning
faster
until
RAM.
the evening, we have
I don't know.
many
But then
product
again,
launches.
Who knows
from
what
top
AMD is doing with
brands
Navi, really,
from
with those
all
most
over the
recent
world.
leaks. We were really excited. And then,
Most importantly, we help to arrange one-on-one trade meetings.
That's a good question,
With
Pierce. We
global
haven't
buyers
seen
during the
them
show.
go up in cores with Ryzen yet.
that
So
is
I
not
do
all
believe it's going to be
you
at
will
least a little
see
bit more
and
expensive,
do
but
at
it's
Computex
probably going to
this
be
year.
pretty comparable to the original cost.
For the
Right now, the
next 5
2700X is
5
a
days.
lot cheaper, so keep that in mind.
You will see and experience how technologies are positively impacting how we live, work, and play, and how we communicate, think, and create. The industry is changing.
His mouth is dry.
And
Oh,
together,
is my
we
my
are
voice
changing
really
the
loud?
world.
Here, I can
So,
turn it down just a little bit.
Enjoy future technologies at Computex today. Now, I'm going to introduce to you
Oh, here it is.
someone very special.
Here we go.
I
Thank
have
you,
the pleasure of welcoming
Mr. Baggins. I appreciate
an
that.
extraordinary technology leader, Dr. Lisa Su, President
it
and
is.
CEO of AMD.
All right.
Okay. AMD is a high-performance computing force
Epic is awesome.
behind
That's
much
it.
of
Good
the
night.
technology that you use every day.
I'm kidding. No.
This year,
Let's hope that's not all.
AMD is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and is also
Oh, I appreciate that,
launching
J-Man.
the world's first 7-nanometer CPUs and GPUs, which I think are going to have a major impact on the market. In 2014, Dr. Su took over as CEO and has led the company to a number of remarkable achievements.
Yeah, she has been doing
She is
great.
truly
Seriously, I
a world-class.
definitely think
and
we can all say that,
globally
especially with the limited
recognized
resources that she has.
business leader.
She's been doing fantastic.
Today,
AMD
Dr. Su
made a great
is
choice.
joining the Computex for the very first time. So please give the warmest welcome to Dr. Lisa Su.
All right. All right. Here we go. No bugs. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Yep, they are really getting back into data centers. Something really surprising that they've been able to do that. Recently saw some market share growth there.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Walter.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa, for coming to Computex.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, Taipei.
Good morning.
It is absolutely wonderful to be here in Taipei, opening up the Computex press conference. And I have to really thank the entire Computex committee, particularly Taitra and TCA, for inviting AMD to our first ever keynote here at Computex.
Woo!
It is an incredible place where we have our industry partners and all of the members of the press together. But I'd also like to welcome the global audience that is watching all over the world
That's
on
true if
live
cloud
stream.
gaming catches
We
on.
truly appreciate you joining us today, joining AMD, joining Computex. And Walter said something interesting. He said it was our first time at Computex. Actually, AMD comes to Computex every single year. And we come to Computex every single year because this is the heart of the ecosystem in computing. But this is the first time we are officially invited to be a keynote here at Computex. So again, thank you very much.
All right, that is a correction.
So Walter mentioned that as a company, we actually celebrated our 50th anniversary actually just a few weeks ago on May 1st. And it's a big milestone for every technology company, and certainly a big milestone for AMD. And if you look at the history of AMD, we've always had this vision. Our vision is to push technology to its limits. And it is all about industry first and introducing new technologies that haven't been introduced before. If you take a look at the first gigahertz CPU, that was introduced by AMD. Or the first gigahertz GPU, that was introduced by AMD. And more recently, we've really been focused on innovation in high-performance computing. So we introduced the first high-end desktop processor at 32 cores to really revolutionize the industry. And just earlier this year, we introduced the first 7-nanometer GPU. So lots of technology. But as exciting as the last 50 years were, the next 50 years for technology is much more exciting. There's a tremendous demand for computing, and we really see two key areas. It's the demand for better experiences, so it's all of the devices that each one of us has, hundreds of devices that we interact with at work or play or through our daily lives. We want each one of those devices to be better. We want them to be more responsive. We want them to understand what we want, and that requires tremendous computing power. On the other side, we also have these hundreds of devices giving us lots and lots of data. And what are you going to do with all that data? We want that data to be smarter. We want that data to help us make decisions. And we want that data to help us make our lives more easy. And that is really the huge demand for more compute on the other side of the infrastructure. Now, at AMD, we have one goal in mind. Our one goal is to lead the industry.
6
and that
gigahertz.
requires that we think very differently about how to push the envelope in high-performance computing. And since we're here amongst our friends in Taiwan who control really so much of the ecosystem, it is a tremendous time to be in high-performance markets. Really, if you look across the data center, or you look across gaming, or you look across PCs, all of these are growth areas for us and areas where new technologies can make a huge difference. But one of the things about being in semiconductors is you have to make big bets. Big bets are what tell you, are you going to win or are you not going to win? And at AMD, we have been making some big bets. Our big bets are around high-performance leadership. And high-performance leadership is not one or two things. It's really a series of decisions that were made 3 to 5 years ago that position us for this year in 2019. And if you take a look at some of those bets, the first is in process technology. We've chosen to be at the leading edge of process technology. We want the best that the industry has to offer. And frankly, that's in 2019, that's 7-nanometer process technology. And we are extremely proud of partnering with TSMC because they do have the best technology in the industry. The second bet is around high-performance cores. The cores are really the engines of our products. And you want those engines to be as modern and capable as possible. And so today, we're going to talk to you about our Zen 2 cores, and we're going to talk to you about our Navi products. And that gives you an idea of our high-performance engines that will power the next decade. And the third piece is we have to put all of these things smartly together. And it doesn't mean just building large pieces of silicon. It really means putting the best technology in the best silicon, in the best package, in the best system. And that's what we call our chiplet architecture, because our chiplet architecture allows us to build an incredible set of products. Now, I told you Computex is an extremely exciting time for us. And this morning, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We're going to give you a brief update on where we are with our data center products, the second generation Rome. We're going to talk a bit about Navi. How many of you are interested in Navi?
Yeah.
We're going to preview Navi for you because it's an incredible product
I knew
family
it.
for gaming.
That's what
And
I figured
then-
they would do.
Third generation AMD Ryzen CPUs.
Okay. More than a preview.
We're going to have a fun morning talking about where technology can really go.
Ooh.
So with that, let's start in the data center, please.
All right, so this is going to be epic. With a Y.
Okay,
Going for the hat. This will hopefully give us a taste of what we can expect from Ryzen as well. Hopefully.
All right, so look, the data center is really incredibly exciting. And what's exciting about it is the data center really helps us solve the world's toughest and most important challenges. And when you think about some of the most important scientific problems in the world, or you think about high-performance computing,
No, don't
or you
let
think
your
about
battery
the
die.
tremendous growth in the cloud, or all of the focus on machine learning, all of these things need lots and lots of computing horsepower. And that's what it is we've been focused on. 2 years ago, we introduced the EPYC processor family. EPYC was meant to really bring a new era in the data center. We wanted to change the rules. We wanted to allow people to use single socket or dual socket systems, depending on their workloads. And with that, we have seen tremendous adoption in EPYC over the last 2 years. Today, we have more than 60 AMD EPYC platforms in production. And if you look globally at the largest cloud environments, many of them are using AMD, including Microsoft Azure, including Amazon, including Baidu, Tencent, and many, many more. We have more than 50 AMD EPYC cloud instances in production right now. But I talked to you about solving the world's toughest problems, and it's actually something that we're very proud of. We're engineers. We like to solve problems. And just a few weeks ago, we were very, very honored to be selected for probably one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging supercomputer in the world. AMD was selected by Oak Ridge National Laboratories and the US Department of Energy, together with Cray, to build a 1.5 exaflop supercomputer. That's 1.5 exaflops.
Yep, I discussed that. That is really impressive.
It's using a future generation of AMD EPYC, and it's using a future generation of our AMD Radeon Instinct. And the reason we love it is because we know it's going to be incredibly challenging, but our goal in 2021 is to have the world's fastest supercomputer on AMD technology. And frankly, we're going to learn an incredible amount about how to build computers, but more importantly, we are going to help all of the scientists in the world solve some of these tough challenges. So just take a look at what people do with these supercomputers, please.
We get excited about answers. In the end, to us, the technology's how we get to our answers, and that's what excites us. The evolution of AMDs seems to be on task with how research computing moves forward. They help us reinvent how we're doing our science.
High-performance computing is an incredibly important market because it's central to product development, to scientific research, to natural resource exploration, and now, more so, to the emerging area of machine intelligence. We believe that supercomputing is at the forefront of computer architecture, and the innovations and technology that's driven into systems wind up defining the standard for the data center.
Building a supercomputer doesn't change the world in and of itself. It's only when we put it in the hands of scientists and engineers that they can use that system to change the world.
Frontier is going to change every aspect of our life, and we'll be better for it.
The bacteria I study have no cure, so detecting them quickly and carefully is really important for preventing disease, as they cause millions of dollars in damage every year. I'm always fighting to get more and more CPU time on the cluster, and with the EPYC server, I'm able to run a lot more jobs faster, and this is really key for getting my research done in a reasonable amount of time.
Our engineers are proud that our technology will be used to help analyze and progress the analysis of advanced weather modeling, of advanced disease research, understanding molecular genetic disorders.
Seeing the science actually get somewhere and actually be able to change the world in a positive way is how we're using this technology, and that's what keeps the scientists going.
Is that exciting or what, in terms of what you can do with the technology? So with that, let me bring you to our first announcement of the morning. You saw what we could do in supercomputing capabilities, and what we're announcing today with Microsoft is we are bringing that supercomputing capability upscale into the Azure cloud. And the idea here is that we have the ability to have the largest cluster of EPYC CPUs, over 10,000 CPUs, that will really allow you to simulate very, very large tasks. And our first customer has already said that they have been able to get over 7,500 times speed up by using the Azure cloud with EPYC compared to what they could do before. So I think that's pretty amazing, huh? Now, I also want to give you an update on our second generation EPYC processor, Rome. Rome is an incredible product. It's built on 7nm technology. It's up to 64 Zen 2 cores. It has incredible compute and I/O and bandwidth capability because of the way we architected this device. And when you look at what that means, what we see in our labs and in our customers' labs is we see up to twice the performance, 2x of performance per socket compared to our previous generation. And on floating point workloads, we see up to 4x because of the floating point capability that we've put into Rome. Now, we're very, very excited about how Rome is doing in the labs, and we want to show you some of how Rome is doing here at Computex. So for that, let me invite Forrest Norrod to the stage.
Hey, Lisa. Good morning.
Forrest runs our data center business, and Forrest, let's give our audience a preview of how Rome is doing.
Fantastic. Well, at CES back in January, Lisa showed the world the first performance demo on Rome with a single Rome processor outperforming what was, at that time, a dual-socket, top-of-stack best system from our competitor. And that was great. But today, I'm going to be showing you that same simulation on 2 Rome processors outperforming the top-of-line Cascade Lake 8280 processor, dual socket from Intel, just announced a month ago. And Rome, in a dual socket to dual socket comparison, over twice as fast on molecular dynamics simulations.
Yeah, if there's anything that benefits from a ton of cores, it is definitely going to be
Forrest,
data centers.
you want to talk about what those nanoseconds were down there?
The nanoseconds were, we are simulating a protein that's part of HDL. floating around in the bloodstream, and it's critically important to understand how it interacts with other chemicals in your body. And that simulation was simulation of nanoseconds of that progression of the molecule, 92,000 atoms. And it's such an incredibly complicated thing that even the speed of EPIC can only simulate about 20 nanoseconds a day, but that's twice as much as on Cascade Lake. So twice the performance on Rome than our previous generation, twice
a lot
the
of room for
performance
improvement
of the 8280M, which is a $10,000 processor. And we have twice as many platforms in development that'll be ready so that customers, most importantly, can get the power of Rome into their hands, into their labs, into their businesses as soon as possible.
And Forrest, when are we launching this product?
We're launching this product next quarter. Thanks, Lisa.
All right. Supposedly that's where pretty much everything's likely going to be launching
here.
Here.
Of how
July
excited
7th
we are with Rome.
Is
Rome is going to be incredible, and it's going to revolutionize the data center. So with that, now let's move into the realm of graphics and gaming.
Okay. All right, don't forget. Share the stream, guys. Let everybody know. This is it. Comes.
All right. How many of you love
I thought we were going to
Radeon?
see it.
We love Radeon. And what we say is Radeon is really everywhere. So if you think about it, today, there are over 400 million gamers that game on Radeon. Over 400 million. And when you look across the PC form factor, notebooks, Apple iMac, MacBook Pro products. When you look across the game consoles,
yeah, it looks like they're going to have PS5
Sony
and the new Xbox as well.
And most recently, you saw Google announce that they're starting their cloud gaming technologies using AMD. You really get
from
the
what we've
sense
seen, they're
that
using
Radeon
Vega.
Is everywhere. And one of the things I say,
I don't know,
and I say very, very often, is AMD just loves gamers.
PS5, that is. Or no, I'm sorry, the cloud, Stadia.
Do you agree? You know, 2019 has already been a very, very important year for Radeon. We started the year at CES launching the second generation Vega product in gaming called Radeon 7. This was the world's first 7-nanometer GPU, and it has incredible performance across gaming as well as compute workloads. And when you look at what we're doing in the data center with Radeon Instinct MI60 and MI50, we have a number of design wins and engagements that are looking at bringing Vega into all aspects of the data center. And what we see is tremendous momentum. So you're going to continue to see Vega, and you're going to continue to see Vega in these large, compute-intensive workstation workloads, and you'll hear a lot more about that over the next weeks and months. But I started with the idea of gamers are special. We believe there are over 2 billion gamers in the world, and that's including PCs, consoles, cloud, mobile, and gamers are incredibly demanding. Gaming is a very, very social sport, so you want to be able to share it with your friends. You want incredible control and responsiveness. You want performance in every form factor, and you want to be able to play your favorite games anywhere, anytime, any place with the same ecosystem. To do that, you really need to build a GPU architecture that goes across PCs, consoles, and the cloud. And that's exactly what we set out to do. So Navi is our new family of Radeon GPUs, and it is really built to power the future of gaming. And when you think about Navi, think about it's really the start of an incredible future in gaming going forward. So let me tell you a little bit about Navi. Not many people know much about Navi. When you look at Navi, we believe that it can power a tremendous number of applications. Just last month, Sony announced the first application of Navi. They announced that their next generation PlayStation is going to be powered by AMD with our semi-custom portfolio using Navi as well as our Zen 2 products. And I can't tell you how excited we are to do that. When you think about the vision of Mark Cerny at Sony, he's really looking at revolutionizing the console era for the next decade. And we are very, very honored to be partnering with Sony in that area. Now, when I talk about Navi, I also talk about Navi as it relates to our PC products. And I want to tell you a little bit about what makes Navi so special. There are really a couple of things. First, Navi has an all-new 7-nanometer RDNA architecture, Radeon DNA. This is different from GCN. And I'm going to talk more about why it's different and what it does for us. Navi's also focused on gaming. Like I said, responsiveness, performance. And so faster clock speeds, higher gaming performance, lower power. And Navi is also the world's first gaming GPU that has PCI Express Gen 4 enabled. So let me tell you a little bit about our DNA. And again, we call this Radeon DNA. So the R has a red Radeon here. The way to think about it is AMD has had a long history of architectures in the GPU space. We love GCN. GCN has been a great architecture for us. And frankly, you're going to continue to see GCN as we go with new versions of Vega and many of the high compute workload applications. But you guys know how we thought about Zen in CPUs. When we designed Zen in CPUs, we decided it was time for from-scratch design because we believed that you needed a new design for the future. And that's exactly what RDNA is. RDNA is a gaming engine, the architecture that will power the foundation of gaming for the next decade. Yes. So we're extremely excited about RDNA.
Okay, the leaks were wrong. This is huge.
Now, we have so much to talk about as it relates to RDNA. My friend David Wang is sitting right here in the front row. You can ask him all the questions. But let me give you a preview of what makes RDNA so special. RDNA is significant new capabilities. It's a brand new compute unit design. And the idea here is to optimize that compute unit for the future of gaming. And it's really focused on efficiency and increasing the number of instructions we could do per clock. We also have an all-new cache hierarchy. And that's all about making gaming more responsive, reducing the latency, getting higher bandwidth, getting lower power, doing more. And the third point is we streamlined the graphics engine. And this is really bringing the architecture together and optimizing for performance per clock as well as higher clock speed. So when you put all that together, let me just give you a couple of numbers so you get an idea of how special RDNA is. When you look at the architectural improvements of RDNA in our first generation compared to our Vega gaming generation, what we see is 1.25x performance per clock.
Okay. 25% higher performance per clock.
So the way to think about this is that's architectural efficiency. Every clock cycle, you get more performance because of those compute engines and how we've optimized the pipeline. And then when you put that together, both the architecture, the design capability, as well as the process technology, we're seeing 1.5x or higher performance per watt capability on the new Navi products as a result of RDNA.
Okay.
So now that you know about our new architecture, it's time to meet the Navi products.
Oh.
So today, for the first time at Computex, I want to introduce the Radeon RX 5000 family. And the RX 5000 family actually is named in honor of AMD's 50th birthday.
What?
So 50 is the year that we start the new architecture, RDNA. So let me introduce you to the first Navi GPU.
Wow. What?
Thank you, Scott.
They just skipped it all. Forget 3000. No. Wow.
7-nanometer architecture, RDNA, RX 5000.
Oh, no shroud.
And some of you may say, this chip actually looks pretty small. We like it small. It's small, but it has incredible performance in it. So you're going to see a lot of these Navi GPUs very, very soon. Now, with that, we also want to show you Navi in action. So Scott, come on back out here.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Scott. So Scott runs our Radeon gaming business unit, and I think Scott has the most fun job in the company.
Yeah,
There's
this
no
is probably
doubt
all
that
they're
I
going to
have
give
the
us.
most fun job in the company. My
Little
kids always
preview.
think that I just go to work and game, so I appreciate.
He actually does just go to work and game. All right, Scott, what are we going to show our fans here?
Yeah, hey, look, I'm super excited to show the world today Navi running for the very first time a real live gaming demo and benchmark. And on behalf of all the AMD engineers that have worked on the Navi product family, we are super excited to get this in the hands of gamers very, very soon.
So it isn't going to be
behind me,
Radeon
you'll
7.
see that Chris over there has already started the benchmark running. This is Strange Brigade. It's running on 2 GPUs. On your left is the RTX 2070. And on the right on the screen is our brand new Radeon RX 5700 series GPUs. Strange Brigade is a co-op first-person shooter game. It's designed to play with your friends. You can fight minotaurs, fight some scorpions, also solve puzzles and blow stuff up, which is my favorite part. I love blowing stuff up. And then you can see as the benchmark comes to a close here, you'll see the scores right behind me shortly. This is what I'm extremely proud of our engineering team. You'll see that on average, the RX 5700 GPU beats our competition by roughly 10% performance in this very early edition of the game demo. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you.
Price is what's going to matter, of course.
Scott has too much fun playing games all the time, but Scott, our fans want to know. This is a Navi preview. This is a Navi preview. So our fans want to know, when can they get their hands on Navi?
Well, it's going to be very soon. So we will be launching everywhere in the world at retail and e-tail, available in July.
July 7th. I don't want to say for sure, but I mean, it makes perfect sense. 7/7.
So maybe I'll also tell everybody, if you want to learn more about Navi, for all the gamers on the stream and here in the audience, you can come and either watch it on stream live, or if you're at the E3 trade show on June 10th, 3 p.m. Pacific, we will be talking about all the good details, including price points, performance, products, plural, and also all the new features inside of RDNA, all the technical features that we're putting into games, and excited to announce today some exclusive game content from our game partners up on stage with us, Lisa, to celebrate our Navi launch, and it's going to be a really fun time come June 10th.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Scott. See you at E3.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
So that's just a little bit of a preview of what you will have in store for you for Navi and our RDNA architecture.
Yeah, we expected more of a preview.
Now let's turn our attention to the PC market.
Yeah, I really didn't expect any of that, guys. This is going to be more focused on 3rd Gen Ryzen, I believe. You specifically said preview, so I mean, this is about what I was expecting. And it's really what I called before it all started, because they really made a big deal about E3. That's where the main announcement's going to be.
love PCs?
Yeah.
You know, PCs are an incredible form factor, if you really think about it. And AMD loves PCs. So if you look today, there are over 1.5 billion PC users. And if you look at what people do with PCs, they basically do everything, whether it's productivity, gaming, entertainment, content creation. The PC form factor has lasted a long time because of all of its capability. And for many of us who are in the ecosystem, we actually believe that there are hundreds of millions of PCs that can be upgraded to be made smarter, more capable, more efficient, and more intuitive. And so over the past few years, AMD has actually invested heavily in the PC market because we believed that, frankly, there was more innovation to be had in PCs. And when you look at the PC market, it actually has some very, very interesting users. You have consumers who want thin, light, productive, good price point, those types of machines. You have enthusiasts, some of our favorites. These are the guys who want the best motherboard, the best CPU, the best GPU, always tweaking it, always overclocking it, always making it a little bit better, always pushing the technology. And then you have this whole class of creators who actually, the PC is their tool to let imaginations come alive. And if you look across all of these users, you actually need different technology to make all of them productive and capable in PCs. Now, what does that mean to AMD? That actually means the PC market, more than almost any other market, requires a tremendous ecosystem. And that ecosystem requires our partners to work extremely closely together to bring that to the market. So I can think of no better way to talk about the PC market than really recognizing Microsoft as the most important partner for not just AMD, but for all of us in the PC ecosystem. And their vision, together with our collective efforts, really drives tremendous innovation. So with that, let me welcome my first guest, Roanne Sones, to the stage. Roanne. How are you?
Lovely. Thank you for having me.
Roanne, thank you so much for being here with us at Computex.
Congratulations. First inaugural AMD keynote at Computex. It's a big moment.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, look, I said it before, but I'll say it again. Microsoft is the heart of the PC ecosystem. Can you tell us a little bit about Microsoft's vision around PCs?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Windows is integrated into the service fabric of our lives, from home to schools to work. It's integrated into mission-critical systems, from healthcare to finance to governments, the world. And so if I take a look back at our responsibility, we have to keep it safe and secure, but it also provides a huge opportunity for growth. I have to say thank you to you, as well as the collective ecosystem. We now have 800 million Windows 10 monthly active devices.
That's very impressive.
We have line of sight to 1 billion monthly active devices around the corner. It's just tremendous, tremendous growth. Now, you mentioned this inflection point that's coming to the market. We could not agree more. And it's going to be powered by silicon and the need for compute, whether that is CPU, GPU, even custom silicon. It will create a wave of new experiences that are cloud connected, that are AI powered, and that are multi-sense.
We completely agree, Roanne. I mean, it's an incredible vision. And AMD and Microsoft have been partners for a long time, but our relationship has changed. Can you talk a little bit about our relationship and what we're doing together?
Absolutely. So for me, I think back to 2 years ago. We were getting started back in Redmond between AMD and Microsoft and planning the next generation Ryzen family together.
Yes.
And I think that we have completely moved the needle in how we approach co-development together. And you're going to see that in what comes to market from both a device level, a driver level, and even the customer experiences that are going to be delivered. From a device level, you are going to see Ryzen integrated into all price points, including premium designs. You are going to see it from all of the top OEMs here in this room with us today.
She's like, oh yeah, just wait.
And you're getting into the guts, actual component level choices. That is. Getting into solid state drives, getting into influencing designs over better displays that are lower power, and that's so critical to the custom experience that customers are going to have. If I look at drivers, AMD was actually first to delivering modern drivers for Windows 10. It eliminates churn. It enables customers to have a more seamless update experience, and it's lower cost for the ecosystem to actually design and build for.
We absolutely love partnering with Microsoft and our OEMs, and we're just so honored. When you look at what you're doing with the Modern Device Collection and what we're doing together, there's just a tremendous number of form factors that are coming out to market.
And it's great. Customers are voting with their feet on this one. If you look at
Lisa Sue's like, come on, I just want to talk about
customer
this.
Satisfaction. We see a 12% increase in the average sales price, 6-month faster refresh. And the thing I'm probably most excited about is the Ryzen family is actually going to be 50% modern devices this year. So it's just tremendous.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That
so,
is
Roanne,
impressive.
our audience is always wondering what's next.
Yes.
Are you going to tell them?
I know. Oh, if only I could. If only I could. Lisa and I have some inside scoop on the depth of partnership between AMD and Microsoft, not just in the PC space, but also as we look to the data center and the cloud and to graphics and gaming. I am really excited about what we are doing there. I think it is going to be next level in terms of what you can expect from us. I want to thank you for your commitment. We have a deeper level of resourcing for co-engineering here in Taipei as well as back in Redmond. And I think it's a sign of AMD's commitment to growth and to leading in the category.
Fantastic. Roanne, thank you so much. Thank you for your partnership.
You bet.
And thank you for
Lisa.
being here today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
We love the partnership with Microsoft, and one of the things I say is partnerships only get deeper with time.
Don't forget that a lot of this is to their investors too. That hope investors are listening.
Deeper, with
so
time.
Other companies talking about how great they are.
What Roanne was talking about, those modern devices are actually powered by our 2nd generation Ryzen mobile device. We introduced this device at CES earlier this year, and if you walk the Computex show floor, and if you look at the various OEM systems, you're going to see a large number of devices that have our 2nd generation Ryzen mobile that has tremendous, tremendous performance as well as longer battery life. And when you look from Acer and Asus to Dell, HP, Lenovo, there are just a tremendous number of new form factors with AMD. And we appreciate that partnership. We appreciate that's difficult. We appreciate a lot of that is done here in Taiwan with our ODM and our OEM partners. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to have you hear from some of our OEM partners. So let me start first with Asus, which has a tremendously broad portfolio across desktop, notebook systems, motherboard components, and add-in boards. And with that, let me bring Joe Shea to the stage. Joe? Hi, Joe.
Okay,
Hi,
ROG.
Thanks to your kind introductions. And I'm so excited to be here today.
Thank you so much for being here, Joe.
And first, personally, I'd like to welcome Lisa to Taipei. Lisa is one of the most knowledgeable and respectable scientist CEO. Okay, I know in this
Scientist.
Yeah, and second, I'd like to congratulate to AMD for your 5th year's anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And congratulations to the success of your new product launch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Asus and AMD all has the strong passion for innovations. Asus has more than 5,000 engineers to design the products. We are so proud to be the company that can provide a complete gaming ecosystem powered by AMD, starting with the ROG motherboard, the ROG graphic cards, the FreeSync monitors, the gaming laptop, and the gaming desktop. ROG always create high performance inside and exciting user experience outside. In April, we have launched the latest Ryzen CPU to our ultra slim gaming notebook.
Yes.
And today, we are going to introduce a new gaming desktop, the ROG Strix GL10 series, also powered by AMD CPU. Do you want to talk about the CPU?
We are very excited because it's it will be one of the first systems with third generation AMD Ryzen CPUs. So thank you, Joe.
He's like, all right, it's my turn.
And what's more, designing motherboard for high-performance CPU present many engineering challenges. And we are confident ASUS could be the one, maybe the only one, overcome the challenges.
There may be a few others here.
Because it's very difficult to design.
Just a few.
It's kidding, all right? So today, we are going to launch the latest ASUS X570 series motherboard. Apart from the standard design, we include special tuning for memories, a dedicated part for high Qualcomm CPUs. And guess what? We have 30 designs for customers.
Oh boy, this is going to be fun doing videos on these.
Again, thanks AMD for being such a close partner for us. Last but not least, this year is also ASUS 30 years anniversary. So let's celebrate together.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the partnership with ASUS, and you can tell there's a tremendous amount of excitement around what they're going to bring to the market. Now, let me introduce another very special partner to AMD, our friends at Acer, who also have an incredibly broad portfolio in the PC category across notebooks, desktops, displays, and much, much more. So with that, let me welcome my friend Jerry Gao to the stage. Hi, Jerry.
They're just teasing us.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for having me here. Yeah. First, also follow my friends. I also want to welcome Lisa to be here.
Thank you.
Be honest, she's not just a scientist, but a very successful entrepreneur, which very few CEO can make a turnover company successful like you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe
she is loving all this praise.
Story. Be honest, 2 months ago I had a dinner with my friend investor bank, and he specifically mentioned you because he said that because your stock price, he earned a lot of money.
This is a technical presentation, not a...
Okay, but allow me to one sentence again. Because using a description for AMD, which I think it's really a shock for me that people use that description. AMD means astonishing miracle delivered. Lisa, this is your miracle delivered.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I also want to thank you, Lisa, because Lisa mentioned that AMD love gamers. So on behalf of our Acer gaming desktop notebook to the customers, I want to say gamers also love AMD. So this is something because of you, we can deliver this monster. This is a Predator Helios notebook. I need to say that this is actually serious. That means not just the AMD CPU and GPU inside, but also has competitors, different combinations. However, a very famous YouTuber, Dave2D, I think many of you is familiar with him. He is actually 3 million followers and very professional in terms of notebook media review.
Yeah,
so
he does a lot of notebook
reviews.
reviews.
The word absolutely beast
for AMD solution. This is something I think I did not see anywhere in the world.
Thank you, thank you.
And this is still the previous generation. And yesterday, we just announced our new second generation Ryzen mobile, a Nitro 5 notebook. So I would like to invite you and everybody to see a video.
All right.
I didn't mean to do that.
That looks great.
I actually have a
Jerry.
Nitro
Thank you so
5, I will
much.
say.
Exciting, right?
Very exciting, very exciting.
Yeah.
And the LCD cracked on a trip.
Page?
Tell me why you stopped
gotta
on this
fix
page.
it.
Okay, because normally here means who sponsor. But I want to mention two keywords here. There are 2 lines here. For almost every your competitor, there's just a 1 line.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Okay, give me just 1 second, guys.
These are maybe you don't know, but people here and also all the OEM partners understand one very good thing, which is a strong advantage, is that you have both CPU and GPU.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We agree.
Yeah, your competitors, your famous GPU competitors don't have CPU. Your famous CPU competitors don't have GPU. And actually, they tried, but they all failed. So I really want to represent Acer's sincere thanks to AMD because you have both solutions. Actually, the synergy, 1 + 1 is larger than 2.
Thank you.
Not just for designers like Acer, but for all the people using AMD's structure. They really enjoy it. This is something I want to say thank you to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And other than gaming, sorry, I'll new transition. Gaming is something I have already emphasized. We have a Predator, we have a Nitro. Predator is our hardcore gaming. Nitro is our main casual gaming. And with AMD's help, we both have a notebook and desktop form factor within the Predator Nitro family. In addition to that, we also have the display. Acer, the first one to provide a FreeSync to the world. And by far, we are still have the widest product portfolio for the FreeSync in the world. So all this, thanks to AMD.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
AMD love gamers, but AMD not just love gamers, because there are other people in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have a more product line actually equipped with the AMD technology, like our education, that's the TravelMate series and Veritan series, our Chromebook, and also our Thin Light series, and our famous Aspire, which actually we are shipped 10 million every year. And AMD represents a significant in that portion. Also want to thank Lisa.
Thank you.
Yeah. And in Acer, we always talking about the last presentation of the statement we put in our last folio is, what do you know? The best?
The best is yet to come.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
here
best
we
is yet
go.
to come. And taking the opportunity, I'm going to introduce everybody that we will be very soon. We'll follow Lisa's sister's instruction about when we're going to launch.
It's a secret.
I know, so
for the next 30 minutes, it's a secret.
Okay, next 30 minutes. Okay, we're gonna have our desktop Predator and Nitro equipped with the 3rd generation Ryzen desktop processor and also the Navi.
Woo!
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first AMD plus AMD, 7 nanometer plus 7 nanometer. And, can I say my teeth? 3rd generation desktop processor plus Navi. And most important, it is A plus A. The second A means Acer.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for your partnership.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Look, it's wonderful to hear from our partners. They are truly, truly special. But it's time to get back to our products.
Okay.
And so I'm extremely, extremely excited
Here we
for
go.
this next part of our presentation.
This should be actual announcement, I'm hoping, I believe. Oh. Oh, they're already saying game. Okay. Oh, wow. That's all they said.
Are you guys ready?
All right, this should be an actual
Are you
announcement.
really ready? I am so excited today to talk to you about our third generation of our AMD Ryzen. It is truly an incredible product for us. And you know, as much as we loved the first generation of Ryzen, we absolutely love first gen Ryzen. Did you guys love first gen Ryzen? And by the way, we loved second gen Ryzen too. But frankly, our company is an engineering company, and we were not satisfied. Our engineering team wanted to do more. We wanted to push the envelope further. We had so much ambition for the desktop and what you can do on the desktop. So today, we are ready to share with you the third generation Ryzen processor family. So let me start with a little bit about what you know. You know, third generation Ryzen is based on 7 nanometer Zen 2 cores. This is part of our Zen processor family, and it's the third incarnation of our Zen processor family. You also know that it's an AM4 socket, and that's important because we wanted our enthusiast fans to have the continuity of AM4. And it's also the world's first PCIe Gen 4 platform, and you're going to see that in action today as well. So now let me tell you some things you may not know. Let's start first with the core. The core truly is the engine of our third gen Ryzen, and Zen 2 is an incredible core. When you take a look at some of the features, we doubled the floating point. And why is that important? Doubling the floating point in PC applications means you have faster performance in creative workloads for all of those content creators who want to do more. We also doubled the cache size. Why did we double the cache size? Because access to memory is so important. And we believed that
especially
if you
with
reduce the memory
modules.
latencies, you get much, much better performance, particularly in games and how gaming performance works.
Mm-hmm.
And then the most important piece of Zen 2 is the IPC, or the instructions per clock. IPC, you work incredibly hard for every single percentage of performance. And when we started Zen 2, our engineers told me, Lisa, I think we might get 8 to 10% IPC. Zen was a great core. Zen is a great core. We think 8 to 10% is reasonable. But my engineers are amazing.
15.
And they always surprise me
That's what we've been hearing.
and us. And so today, I'm happy to share with you that Zen 2 in the PC workloads actually achieves 15% IPC uplift.
That is not bad at all.
15%.
They already had
counts.
decent IPC.
And the reason it counts is because IPC lifts all boats. All applications improve with IPC.
Yep.
Whether you're talking about gaming or heavily threaded applications and so on and so forth. So we're really, really happy with how Zen 2 has come about. But I'm sure you guys want to know what the product can do. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's start with the very first third-gen Ryzen product.
Okay, 4.4.
It's the Ryzen 7 3700X. The 3700X is the world's first 7-nanometer desktop CPU. It has 8 cores, 16 threads, 4.4 gigahertz boost frequency, 36 megabytes of total cache, and all in an amazing 65 watts of TDP.
Wow. That's pretty good.
65 watts for 8 cores and 16 threads. That's the power of 7-nanometer technology. If you take a look at some of the performance characteristics, look, the 2nd-gen Ryzen is a great set of products, but what we're seeing with the 3700X is significant double-digit performance in both single-threaded and multi-threaded workloads at that significantly lower power. So more performance, lower power, 3rd-gen capability. But with that, you probably want to see the 3rd-gen in action. So Robert, come on out and help me demonstrate 3700X.
I can do that. Hey.
All right, Robert, what are we going to show?
So we've got Cinebench R20 running, and I was thinking back to my time as a reviewer looking at AMD's K7 and K8 architectures, a long time ago. And we've used Cinebench for over 15 years to reliably and quickly test the performance of a processor. And now we're on Cinebench R20, which came out just last month. And what you'll see on your right is the Ryzen 7 3700X versus, on the left, the Core i7 9700K.
They're waiting for Ryzen
And
9 to fight the 9900.
Ray-traced scene, you may notice that the Ryzen 7 3700X is quite a bit faster. In fact, it's about 1/3 faster than the competing part. And that's really a testament to the compute performance of Zen 2 and the density that the 7-nanometer Zen 2 architecture brings to a chip.
33% faster.
Fantastic.
And it's just a monster performance. And I think if content creators really, really want something special, that's just 65 watts. This is a beautiful, beautiful part. And
yeah, 65 watts. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question is how much overclocking headroom can we get?
Are we done?
Almost there.
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
Ooh,
it takes a little while.
All right, there we are. All right.
Robert, thank you so much. Thank you.
Ryzen 9?
So look, you get an idea of how much capability you have.
Oh my goodness, no.
Again, against our competitor, what we see is single-threaded performance about equal, and 28% more multi-threaded performance, all at 65 watts with lower power. So we love 3700X, but you know we love processors in general. So let me introduce you to the next member of the Ryzen 7 family, the Ryzen 7 3800X.
Oh!
The 3800X is now the 8-core device for the enthusiast gamer. The boost clock goes up to 4.5 gigahertz, 36 megabytes of total cache, and you see this is now at 105 watts. And when we think about the 3800X, we really think about it as the 8-core performance leader. So take a look at the improvements. Ryzen was always an incredible processor, but when you look at the gaming improvements that we've been able to get with 3rd-gen Ryzen, you can just look generationally. These are some of the most popular esports titles, things like League of Legends, Dota, PUBG, and you can see tremendous double-digit performance improvements.
But can the 3700X
really
become a 3800X with manual overclocking?
And we designed the 3800X for gaming performance. So with that, let me invite Robert out again to show you what 3800X
hopefully they're
does.
going to keep inviting this guy out.
Okay, so this time we have the Core i9 9900K on the left versus our beautiful Ryzen 7 3800X. Both of them 8 cores, 16 threads.
Okay.
And the great thing about it is this beautiful PUBG demo that we built and recorded to reliably test the performance of this game. This is a tough game to benchmark, but we've done it. And what you'll see is that both processors are about the same. And in fact, that's ideal. I know as a gamer that I want a processor that gives so much performance to the GPU that it's out of the way. I don't even have to worry about the fact that my GPU is being bottlenecked by the processor. So the Ryzen 7 3800X, if you are looking for a chip that gives you the performance you need for those high-end GPUs, this is it. It's the best game in town. And if you add in all the other technologies,
It's definitely not crushing
like
it, but
Gen 4 and 7 nanometer,
4.5
it's the only
gigahertz
choice.
Fantastic.
competing
All right.
against the 9900K isn't bad, but
Now, what we said about our solution is it's not just about the processor. It really is about the system. So what we want to show you next, Robert's going to help me. We're going to show you the 3800X with the new Navi Radeon RX 5700
and yeah, 3800X
series
will likely
with
be a good bit cheaper. I don't know. I don't want to
motherboard
say.
And with a tremendous amount of I/O capability using PCI Express Gen 4. So this is actually the world's first PCI Express Gen 4 ready gaming PC and demo. So Robert, let's show our crowd.
Absolutely. So we built two systems. On your left, a PCI Gen 3 system, and on your right, exclusively and uniquely from AMD, a PCI Gen 4 system.
Oh,
and
the 5700.
This is running the upcoming 3D Mark PCI Express feature test, which is designed to answer the question, how much extra graphics performance can you get from PCI Gen 4 versus Gen 3? And the answer is clear, and it's large. Up to 69% more performance for graphics from having PCI
That's
Gen
a
4.
2080 Ti now.
Bandwidth.
From AMD.
Just take a look
Right?
at that bandwidth.
I have
So
so
we're
many
running
questions.
about 25 frames per second on the AMD system and about 14 frames per second on the Intel system. And this is just a really great demonstration of what Gen 4 can do for gamers. And you think about how that might help games in the future.
Fantastic. Robert, thank you so much.
I have so many questions. It barely beat a 2070, and now it's compared to.
The new Ryzen 7 family, 3rd gen, this is what your takeaway should be. When you look at Ryzen 3700X or 3800X, in single-threaded, we are at or better than the competition. In multi-threaded, we are significantly better than the
Actually
competition.
said that.
And this is the power of Zen
Even
2,
single-threaded.
the power of our chiplet architecture, and the power of bringing that all together in the ecosystem. So
And that's only at 4.5.
That's Ryzen 7.
Oh, there it is. So this is aimed at the gaming, potentially more cores.
We also have a broad ecosystem ready for our 3rd gen Ryzen. And when you look at this, I really want to thank our partners. Our partners have really brought forward
I can't tell
over 56
what they're gonna
new
do.
motherboards, X570s, at launch. So thank you for that. And we have 100+ motherboards that are already Ryzen ready for 3rd generation. So that's our commitment to the AM4 platform. And so all of you will have
And that is
access
good.
to that broad ecosystem.
Definitely appreciated.
Now, I do have one more thing for you this morning. Do I have one more thing?
Please, yes.
Everybody has been wondering, is AMD going to bring more than 8 cores to the
here it
3rd
is.
gen Ryzen desktop processor family?
Yes.
And today, I'm very happy to say the answer is absolutely yes.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe we will get to 16, which would be crazy.
AMD is pushing gaming beyond 8 cores, and today I am so proud
still
to
talking
introduce
gaming.
the new AMD Ryzen 9 family.
I was a little worried for a minute there.
So, for the very first time, take a look at AMD Ryzen 9. Is this beautiful or what?
And they're already claiming the Ryzen 7 is, wow, beating the 9900K
When I
in
showed
single.
this at CES, many on the internet wondered, because I had 1 core chiplet, whether we had room for the 2nd core chiplet.
Yep. They had to.
And the answer is we absolutely have room, and this enables us to bring Ryzen 9 to the market.
Wow. Will this work on the X?
So,
On
I
all
love
the
silicon.
motherboards.
But I also love products and showing products off. So let me talk about Ryzen 9.
Oh,
The Ryzen 9
4.6.
3900X
Oh,
is the
it's getting there.
absolutely first mainstream desktop processor with 12 cores and 24 threads. And what you see that's
Can
so
it get up
special
to
here
4.8?
is this is the no compromise product. We have 4.6 gigahertz boost, 70 megabytes of total cache.
Wow.
And it's all in 105 watts.
Whoa. Lottery
And when
winners.
we say no compromise, we mean that it is a phenomenal multi-threaded CPU, but it's a phenomenal gaming CPU as well. So with that, let me invite Robert back.
It might
to
not be
show
5
off the
gigahertz,
performance
but
of our
apparently
3900X. Robert?
it makes up for it in the IPC.
For my last and final trick.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to take socket AM4, AMD socket AM4 against Intel's HEDT socket. This is a $1,200 processor on the left versus the AMD Ryzen 9 3900X on your right. And we're running Blender, which is trusted by many content creators to evaluate 3D rendering performance. And it's just a really great content creation tool. And what you see from every box is a processing thread. And as we come to the finish, the difference is clear. We finished in about 32 seconds versus the competitor's 38 seconds. And that's about an 18% performance
You did mention the
improvement
price,
for AMD.
so
And we're going core to core, 12 versus 12.
hopefully
which
it's not
means
gonna be
Zen
anywhere
2
near that.
is simply faster.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Woo! Can I say we love to win? Take a look at what we're doing with the Ryzen 9 3900X. We have double-digit improvement in single-threaded performance, significant improvement in multi-threaded performance. And take a look at the power. Our competition is at 165 watts, and we are at 105 watts.
Ooh. 14% single-threaded performance. Wow.
Does that look great or what?
Why did the multi-core lower so much?
So I know it all looks great, but I know now you're wondering, how much does this cost? When am I going to be able to get 3rd Gen Ryzen? So now let's go there. At AMD, we believe in bringing the best technology to our fans and to our ecosystem. And that's the way we think about it. 3rd Gen Ryzen is amazing. When you look at the 3700X, when you look at more performance, lower power, all of that versus our competition, what we believe is the price point for an entry-level 8-core device should be $329.
Okay.
And when you move up to the 3800X, the ultimate 8-core 16-thread device
So we're talking probably
for
$500
gamers
for
and
the
content
12-core.
creators, incredible performance, both single and
That would be
multi-threaded.
great.
We also believe, again, we want as many people to have this as possible. So this will retail for $399. And finally, the Ryzen 9
Oh,
family.
450? Could it?
We love this guy.
No.
We love this guy.
They're
because
gonna
we
jump
love
100.
That we can bring something to the market that nobody has ever done before.
At
In
least.
12 cores, 24 threads. You saw, Robert, we compared against our competition whose device is more than $1,100. But we believe that we want as many people as possible to have the Ryzen 9 3900X. So when this goes on sale, it will retail for $499.
Yep. Wow. Hey, that is definitely pretty impressive.
That's half the price of
I
our
just want
competition
to test it.
with much, much more performance. So now you want to know when you can get this all. And when you put all this together,
July 7th?
what you see is the AM4 platform has been amazing. Just take a look at what we have done over the last 2 years. When we started the 1st Gen Ryzen, we thought it was amazing. But in just a little over 2 years, we have brought the performance at the $499 price point up 32% single-threaded, double in multi-threaded performance, and increased the core count from 8 to 12 cores. At AMD,
Still on
we
the
call
AM4
that
platform.
innovation,
Okay.
and I hope you see this is what technology leadership is all about.
32% single.
So now you want to know when you can get
1800X.
third generation Ryzen?
Yes.
I am very, very proud to tell you that all of these processors go on shelf on July 7th.
Yep. Awesome. Okay.
First 7-nanometer desktop CPU on 7/7 for all of you. So with that, let me bring our Computex keynote to a close and say, first of all, we are so honored to be here, and I want to thank Taitra and TCA again for the opportunity for us to be at the opening keynote. It has been an incredible day. It's never been a better time to be in the high-performance computing world, and we are so appreciative of the support of all of our fans and all of our ecosystem partners. So to close the show, I want to invite our ecosystem partners to the stage so that we can take a picture together. Please join me.
Okay. Okay. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I mean, that should be it. I don't know if you guys want to keep watching it. We
Thank
can.
you. Thank you. Thank
Let
you.
me know.
Thank you.
But that should be it.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, yeah, it just went back to the original screen. So, wow, a lot to process. Obviously things are pretty different from the original leaks and rumors and everything like that. But yet at the same time, not unimpressive at all. Now, I will say that I am a little bit surprised that they didn't release a 16-core. It might be due to limitations of the older AM4 motherboards. I have a feeling that they might release something later on. Just because with the chiplet design, there's no reason they wouldn't be able to go to 16 cores. Also, thank you, J-Man. But there's no reason they couldn't go up to 16 core. I mean, that I know of as far as using the chiplet design. Let's just put it that way. Let me cancel this. Okay. As far as using the chiplet design, I don't know why. One has 8. They should be able to add a second. But obviously, there's a ton of complications that could arise. Now, with that said, nope, didn't get 5 gigahertz. I was hoping, my personal opinion, I was hoping for about 4.8. We got 4.6. But with the IPC increase, AMD is flat out claiming that they have better single-core performance than Intel's 9900K. And as we know, they are not going to be doing... they're not going to be having any other, they're not going to be having a die shrink this year. So they're not going to have 10 nanometer desktop, almost guaranteed this year and probably not even next year. So we won't really see any IPC increases from Intel, which means that the one complaint that AMD had, they're now doing better. Obviously, the only difference is going to be how well we can overclock this. If we can get some all-core overclocks, or if what they showed is just the best that it can push it on single core. And even if you can get an all-core overclock, it'll help the performance a little bit. It'll help it a lot in multi-threaded performance, not so much in single-threaded, of course. But yeah, a lot of information. $500 for a 4.6 gigahertz 12-core processor is, wow, it's really good. Let's just put it that way. And the fact that it works on relatively inexpensive motherboards, that's impressive. Now, a lot of people are talking about Ryzen 5. I see a lot of you guys talking about in the comments, R3, R5, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 3. Remember that their first announcement, they basically, I would expect those within the next month or two. They do the Ryzen 7 announcement, and apparently now the Ryzen 9. If you remember, they announced the 1700, 1700X, 1800X whenever they first announced everything, and then moved further on later on. So now, with that said, they did at least talk about Ryzen 5 at that event. It released later on. So, I mean, they didn't even touch on it at all. Really, I would expect probably around the same clocks with 6-core, just as we've been getting, because the Ryzen 9 seems to be kind of an outlier. So I wouldn't expect, 8-core Ryzen 5, maybe at the top of the line, but I'm not sure. I would really just expect Ryzen, the 6-core, 4-core, just like we've been getting. So yeah. I'm pretty impressed with how well it did against the 9900K. Now I really want to test this. I am trying to get some. I can't 100% say whether I'm going to be able to get one early. Let's just put it that way. Even if I can't get one right now, I will almost definitely be buying one. Probably the 12-core if I can, but. Anyway, it was interesting, and then we have Navi, of course. I was not expecting them to really announce anything. Now, the 5000. Wow. 5000 series. Definitely didn't expect that. So, they're really overstepping NVIDIA from the 2000 to 5000. But the reason they compared it to the 2070 is definitely because they're not going to overshadow the Radeon 7. This is still going to be their best GPU for now. So keep that in mind. At least from what we've seen, the fact that they're still advertising it means something. Now, that benchmark with the 2080 Ti, at one point I thought it said 1080 Ti, but I'm pretty sure it then said 2080 Ti. I'll definitely look over that. But anyway, I am going to be going over a good bit more coverage, and I'm going to be putting this up a little bit later as well. But definitely subscribe, guys. I'm going to have some really cool videos coming out. I took Tuesday off, my day job, and obviously I'm not going to be working tomorrow. I don't even have work tomorrow either way. But so yeah, just make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be talking about a lot of different products coming out, Intel's products, things like that. So, and don't forget to thumbs up the video if you liked it. Anyway, thanks so much and have a great day. Okay, hold on. I had a thing for this. An outro. But now I can't find it. Alright, anyway. Thanks so much. Awkwardness. Have a great one.